Hello, Internet. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to 10 years later, Batman Arkham Knight. Now, the challenges. So tonight will be Nightwing tackling the, what do you call it? Predator stuff as best we can. Our aim is 3 stars. 3 stars for our aim. And you can see in our uploaded series, we are 26, 25, 20, 24% through. Something like that. Oh, okay. We're on the... Wait, don't I need to change? I need to change my costume then. Oh, wait, no, I'm not playing as Batman. I'm fine. Not playing as Batman. We're playing as Nightwing, and we need to be in the blue. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Yeah, it still had the skins that I'm using in my other playthrough, which is Batman Beyond, things like that. Oh! Ooh! 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 Wow, that hurt. Ow. Oh, stupid neck. Ah! Oh, that, yep. Did not like that. Did not like that at all. Oof. Alright, so the Nightwing thing, what do you want? Take out the Detective Jammer with a great takedown, okay. Defeat all enemies without breaking any glass? Ugh. Take out 5 thugs with a ledge takedown without breaking glass? What is your problem? Gonna see Superman? I mean, the consensus is it's a good Superman movie. Like, if you guys don't care for this language, let me explain this to you. So, pretty much everybody that I've heard from the movie is the movie is good and it's not woke. So if that's something that you like or something that you're looking for to make sure that, you know, it's not catering to certain groups and they're just like going out of their way to make a good like superhero story. Also, this is the first superhero movie in 10 years that actually allows women to have cleavage, wear high heels and skirts. So, I mean, it's almost like watching a superhero movie from 2015, 2010. It's got James Gunn style humor, but it's not like the humor's not too out there. It's a little corny from what I hear, but I mean, when I heard that it doesn't have like really underlining messaging and stuff like that, I mean, you know, I was kind of like, wow, I wish I could go see the movie. I would support something like that, but I don't have any money yet. I haven't been paid, so. I've heard from about 15 different people, and I've heard from 2 grifters that have made their entire YouTube channels about, you know, making fun of woke stuff. And they love the movie, which they're getting a lot of heat online for right now. So, you know, it sounds like it's a true to form return to what made superhero movies great, you know, a decade ago. So, let's see if it works out, you know? Never thought you would hear somebody say they'd watch. But you have to remember, Chad, there's been this whole thing in superhero movies where they've had to, like, basically nullify the girls. Like, most of the female characters in superhero movies, they get they get the nun, stuff. Like, they have to be super covered up. They can't show any skin whatsoever. There's girls that wear mini skirts in the movie. There's girls that show a little bit of, you know, a little bit of peekaboo stuff, tastefully done, you know, like Cat Grant and even Lois, I believe, a little bit. Which, I mean, those characters always kind of did that, even in the Superman cartoon. It's not a big deal. Like, there's nothing wrong with cleavage. It's fine. Especially if a woman is very, like, voluptuous and curvy. She can't really help if her top doesn't fit the same way as a girl that's an ironing board, you know? Like girls with bigger mounds have different struggles than women that don't have any, or that have less. Hollywood was forcing women with, we'll say, more gifts to basically be ashamed of their size, essentially. So, apparently that's not the case in this movie, which is nice, I guess. I don't know. Some people are complaining about it. They're like, oh man, they're objectifying women, but it's like, it's not really objectifying women. You know, but if that's something that people are interested in, cool, more power to you. If you don't care about it, I mean, it doesn't make or break the movie anyway. It's just something I've heard from people. You have to remember, these people have made their whole YouTube channels about, like, oh, this is censorship of women and all this other stuff, you know? So, it's a return to form of classic-ness, sort of, kind of. Oh, wait, did I already break a window? Ah, I didn't mean to break the window. But I didn't break the window. Wait, when did I break it? Stupid window. I don't think we're going to get all three.
This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Simulation
Of course, the double standard in Hollywood exists, like, without a doubt. Yeah, they objectified men all the time. Thor didn't have a shirt on in the MCU half the time. I think they had Captain America run around without a shirt on, showing his rippling muscles. But, you know, guys who wanted to see pretty girls in, like, less clothing, we weren't allowed to, and we were called pigs and all this other stuff, so... I mean, it basically goes back to, what's the word I'm looking for? It goes back to equality, basically. If a girl's running around in a bikini, a guy is in a... What do you... I don't know what kind of bathing suit it is.
This is the worst part.
A Speedo? Just that kind of stuff. Fair is fair, right? Oh, that worked out well.
Sure
Medic.
for food drops in Arkham City.
That's two. Did I break a window again? Stop breaking windows, Nightwing. Okay, we haven't broken a window yet, but we're getting there.
Anyone bored?
No, I'm not bored. I'm just trying to do this correctly. It's not bored, per se. It's... How do I not screw this up? Yeah, I know. It was kind of weird that it was explained to me. I was kind of like, I'm married, guys. I'm not single. I don't think about looking at other women's chests.
This is the worst part. Waiting.
Ah, snap! So, you have to remember, my friend in California is a very lonely 37-year-old man who was very surprised that he saw that in a superhero movie. He was like, when I heard they were going to put Cat Grant in the movie, he was like, I thought that it would be like Cat Grant wearing like maybe a tight, like, what do they call it? What's the name of that sweater? Like a tight, turtleneck sweater, like from the 90s or something like that. That a lot of girls wore, that, especially girls that had, you know, stuff they were trying to cover up that they couldn't help. No. No, 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 no. Wait, are they on patrol already? Darn. So, based on that friend's analysis of the movie, whatever, you know, it is what it is. But I think the last time we saw something like that, even Zack Snyder, like, I'm pretty sure Amy Adams, who is a big girl, so to speak, I'm pretty sure they had her covered up, except for her bathtub scene. Her bathtub scene in BVS. And then they use bubbles. Bubble bath. But, yeah, it's got James Gunn jokes and stuff like that, so if you don't like James Gunn's sense of humor, like you saw in the trailer where Mr. Terrific and Lois are waiting for a garage door to open, and, you know, it's a superhero movie, so it's kind of funny.
You think this is funny? He's out there waiting to pounce.
Pretty much, the best way I can explain the movie, as I've heard it from 6 different people, is everybody brings up the tonal difference between Zack Snyder and James Gunn, and they say things like, well, you know, James's humor is very, I wouldn't say childish, but it's very corny. It's very comic book. And the world that Superman inhabits in the Superman movie is not the same world that Henry Cavill's Superman existed in. Henry Cavill's Superman was supposed to do the whole Nolan approach, where basically the Nolan approach was, how can the world deal with an alien who comes to their planet, right? And, like, what would happen if aliens were among us? And, you know, literally destroying Metropolis and, you know, killing Zod, all that other stuff. It was a very dark, Chris Nolan-esque thing, because that's what Zack Snyder was inspired by. He was inspired by the Chris Nolan Batman movies. Wanted to make a Chris Nolan-style Superman. Very dark, depressing, edgy character. You know, because that's kind of the Superman that would be in our world. So James did the opposite. James is like, I'm making a comic book movie, so my Superman is going to, you know, basically exist inside of this comic book world. And the viewer is invited into this fantastical comic book universe to meet my Superman. It's not a question of, can Superman exist in your reality? It's a question of, Superman exists in my reality. So, I mean, they're 2 different ways of doing storytelling. That's all. And the consensus is that most people prefer the, hey, come to my universe and hang out and have a good time eating popcorn, instead of, hey, come to our universe and experience what it's like to have Superman in the real world post 9/11, which was very dark, depressing, sad, edgy, angry, which is basically what the world is like post 9/11. So James Gunn just threw all that out the window and was like, nope, we're not doing that. So there'll be people that really love Man of Steel because of its realism nuance and Dragon Ball Z style combat and stuff like that. And then there'll be people that like the comic booky feel of David Cornsweat's Superman, where it's not Dragon Ball Z style combat. It's more like Superman the Animated Series and Justice League combat. So if you liked Superman the Animated Series and more Western superhero like choreography and fighting, and as opposed to, you know, Zack Snyder was heavily inspired by Dragon Ball Z, which you can tell from the fights when you watch it. That's the big difference. Although James Gunn also likes Dragon Ball, which is why he had Superman do the Yamcha pose. They're not coming back out to the ledge, are they? No, they're not. Well, gotta do it again. My favorite Robin was Tim Drake, till they ruined him. I was looking at, I was so excited in 2017, I was like typing all over my Twitter that Tim Drake was coming back in Lonely Place of Dying or whatever. He was gonna have, like, he'd been abducted by aliens and he was coming back, and him and Stephanie were getting back together, and I was so hyped for the return of Tim Drake that it was all over my Twitter feed. I was super excited. And then, not even, like, in 2020, they completely ruined the character. Not even 3 years after that tweet, they just completely ruined him by changing his sexuality. That was it. And it was like, I became like a, as the internet puts it, I became a very hateful and spiteful person just because I didn't want to see the character that I grew up with change his preferences. Because I do not relate to that stuff in my media. I don't watch it. I'm not gay. I don't want it. I don't want to read about it. I don't want it in my media because it doesn't relate to me. I don't watch Yaoi. I don't watch Boys Love. I don't like it. I'm not going to chastise someone else for watching it, but I personally don't like it. You know what I mean? It's like, I think that stuff deserves to exist, but I don't want to watch it. I don't want to consume that type of media. It's not for me. So, I didn't like when they did that to my boy Tim, because it was like he was already living with Stephanie. They were in college. I don't know if they were engaged yet, but they were literally living together and boinking, you know? And then all of a sudden he has this realization, no, I like men. Yeah, that was devastating to me.
What happened to you?
Hated that. Because, I mean, he was already established as a character that liked girls, you know? It was just annoying.
Oh crap! He got one. Keep it
And also the cowardice way he did things, too. Like, he broke up with her via text message. Like, he was living with her, and he didn't even have the courage to go to her and tell her, hey, I can't see you anymore because I'm batting for the other team now. Nope, he texted her, and then he ditched her for like 6 to 8 months and was crying like a little pussy. You know, that wasn't the Tim Drake that I grew up with. It was like, well, who is this pretender? That's why I call him Tina Drake. It was absolutely horrifying. Yeah, exactly. Like, why is it... This is what I don't understand. Why are other people allowed their preferences, but straight people aren't allowed our preferences and our superheroes? Like, we can't define our superheroes as being straight, but they can change our superheroes whenever they want? How does that make sense? You know what I mean? It's like, that's the argument they use with us all the time. They're like, well, your character wasn't defined as that. It's like, my character was like that for 40 years. What do you mean they weren't defined that way? You know, that it's a failed argument. But I don't understand, like, their double standard. Like, they tell us no character's defined straight. It's like, this character was straight for 45 years. What do you mean it wasn't defined that way? So you can just come in and muck things up? That makes sense. Watch them go after Dick Grayson in like 10 years. Oh, the character was never defined straight. It's like he boinked everybody in the DC universe for like 50 years. What do you mean? What do you mean it wasn't defined that way? Did I watch the Titans live action show? Yeah.
This is the worst part. The waiting.
Simulation activated.
Yeah, Tina Drake. I don't think we can get all 3 stars doing this, guys and gals. I'm gonna have to break some windows because there's no way.
Anyone bored?
They expect me... Look right here again. It says, I have to take out 5 thugs with ledge takedowns. How am I gonna do that?
Bored.
Without breaking some glass. There's only a couple of these yahoos that are actually standing out on a terrace. Like this fool. And now that guy saw me, see? And then I could just sit here on the ledge, but nobody ever comes to investigate. So I'm just standing out here. Look, all those people are right there. They can see that something happened to this dude, but they're not going to come out here.
Over here. He'll get away.
See? They're just all standing there by the window.
There he is.
How in the world are they shooting through the ledge? Come on. That's solid. There's no way that they would see me there.
This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Simulation activated.
I mean, there's been an online war between Zack Snyder and David Cornsweater, James Gunn fans for a while, and they are under the impression, I know what the Snyder people are doing, they're under the impression that
This is the worst.
pretty much what's going to happen is if James Gunn's Superman fails, then somehow David Zaslav will bring back the Snyder Cut. It's not going to happen. The only thing that you guys can hope for, if you are a Zack Snyder fan, is that Henry Cavill's Superman will come back as an Elseworld Superman in the future. Like, he'll appear in some type of multiverse shenanigans. That's your best hope. And I hate to say it like that, but it's true. But the more that you keep annoying the people at Warner Brothers, I'll tell you the same thing that Jay Olivia told people. Jay Olivia was the guy who was responsible for the storyboards for Zack Snyder's Justice League movies, as well as he did several direct-to-video animated Batman movies. So Jay Olivia is a big guy. You know, he's a well-known name in the DC universe, like the DC film world, right? Tell you the same thing Jay said. Jay said that you can't make all this noise and act crazy like this because executives and Warner Brothers is watching. And what they're going to make sure never happens is that your favorite actors return to reprise their role in the future. Because had we not campaigned to get what's-his-face fired? I don't even remember his name. He was the Asian head of Warner Brothers. I can't even remember his name. But now we find out that that guy that everybody hated and was responsible for destroying DC, as fans put it, he was going to bring back Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill in a Elseworlds movie that took place after The Flash, that was going to build into a very big, like, Avengers Doomsday type thing before Avengers Doomsday. But we complained, and we got... Henry Hamada was his name. We complained, and we got the dude, you know, basically replaced and all this other stuff. And that was it. Yeah, there's no way to do this. I don't want to do this one anymore. I remember I hate this one. We're not doing that one. I quit. Going somewhere else. Yeah, Walter Hamada. So Walter Hamada planned on bringing back both Ben Affleck and other people. He filmed a deleted scene that no one has ever seen, but there's still screenshots of it, where it shows Ben Affleck without his mask in some type of, like, white wormhole, like, with bat computer stuff everywhere, and he's telling Barry to come find their universe. So they were setting up a return for at least one more film with both Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman. That was what Walter Hamada's doing was. And fans were outraged about, you know, the direction of the DCU, which apparently Walter had a plan. He was going to make terrible DC movies so he could make a couple of good ones to just get it out of the system and prove that, you know, woke DC films couldn't sell. You know, he was going to let the Batgirl movie crash and burn and all this other stuff, and then it would lead into the return of Ben Affleck and Superman because fans would be, you know, begging for better superhero movies. But, you know, people thought Walter Hamada was a really bad guy, and that was it for Walter Hamada. In came James Gunn. Henry Cavill got a cameo in Black Adam, and then he got the boot. And then we got David Cornsweet. So, I mean, you know,
This sure beats waiting for food
that's
drops
why
in
Henry
Arkham
Cavill
City.
fans are mad. They're mad because Henry Cavill was under the impression that he was
Simulation
returning.
activated.
And people were really hopeful that they finally get to see Henry's interpretation of Superman. And Henry was really excited and took to his Instagram, said all his other stuff. Most of the Snyder people's argument about Henry Cavill as Superman is that he didn't get to finish his arc. That's the thing that they're most mad about. But at the same time, they can't, like, do boycotts and do all this other stuff and make all this noise because the WB executives are watching them. And, you know, if they cause a lot of problems, then the executives are going to be like, well, they'll take it out on poor Henry or Ben Affleck and be like, you're never allowed back to work with us again because your fans are crazy. Even though both Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck aren't responsible for their fans acting like nut jobs. That shouldn't be their responsibility. You know, just like I can't control my fan base if my fan base goes crazy and does stuff. You know, you guys are your own individual people. I have no control over you. I can ask you not to do things. You can either listen to me or not, you know. But I can't control every outcome that you do. If you do something bad, I don't obviously condone it, but, like, I also don't support you. So you're not affiliated with me at that point if you do something wrong. Like my haters, it's like the 1,000 people that, you know, said I fell off and all this other stuff, like, everything that they do, they're not affiliated with me. They're Syndrome, basically. They're buddy. They're the crazy people that used to be super fans and then they became super villains in my eyes. You know? They're not affiliated with me. And in that regard, they were never affiliated with me, you know? That's how I view things. So, I mean, with Henry's fans that are acting crazy, like, I'm sure Henry thinks the same thing. Like, these people aren't really my fans because they're doing non-Superman related things that I don't approve of. And Henry's already moved on. Henry's a part of Voltron. Henry's going to be in the new reboot of, what was the name of that? Highlander. He's doing the whole Warhammer thing. Henry has a baby now. Like, he and his girlfriend got a baby. They're going to get married. Henry's fine. You know, it's not that Henry doesn't have work. It's just, I mean, he was crushed that he didn't get to do Superman right now, but I'm sure that the plan is to bring his Superman back eventually. Everybody does the whole multiverses thing right now, you know? The chance of Henry Cavill coming back as a alternate universe older Superman is very high. I wouldn't doubt that, especially now that, here, let me explain this to you. The movie is called, like, the first 10 years of the DC universe is called Gods and Monsters, right? I'm sure the second phase will have to do with the multiverse. So we know for a fact that James Gunn sat down and talked with Henry about a role. We don't know what the role was, and Henry didn't turn down the role. So the role is probably an older Superman. Or maybe Batman, I don't know. But, because they still haven't cast Batman yet. I'm still really like the idea of Henry Cavill becoming Batman. Because he played the really dark, gruff character as Superman. I think he could totally pull off a believable Batman with a son. Like a 40-plus-year-old Batman with a kid. With his own biological son. I could see Henry doing that. Take out an enemy stunned by a charisma sticks. Electric blast, ground, take down an enemy. Oh, I hate electric blasts.
This is the worst part.
I don't even remember how to do the electric blasts. This is what I hate, the waiting. You and me both. You and me both. Is that the electric blast? Oh, okay, that's how I do that. All right.
I'm bored.
Oh, snap. Crap gold pop. Oh, no. Whoa! Let's not shoot me in the face, Kay. Ah! Why? Why? What did I do to you? Besides the obvious. I'm gonna hide in here like a coward. I got 2 stars. Woohoo! Take out an enemy stunned by a charisma stick? What does that mean? Complete the challenge in under 2 minutes. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, we have a flash flood warning in Pennsylvania, I know. No, I don't think he's going to be Bond. He's too old for Bond. Henry Cavill is older than, what was the guy who played Bond a while ago? Give me a minute. Daniel Craig. Henry Cavill is older than Daniel Craig was when he first became Bond.
Don't let him go! Find him! Someone cover me. I'm checking our wounded.
Poor schmuck.
Oh boy. Does it have to be the radio guy? No. How am I gonna do this another 2 minutes though?
This is bad. This is really bad.
Be okay.
He's making us look like
Yeah, I am. Bye.
Find him.
Woohoo!
Oh no. This guy, is he dead? Where are
Is he
you?
dead?
Over here.
Maybe.
He ain't getting up.
What do I have? Can I wall take down that fool?
Mine's ready, guys. Nothing wrong there. Keep back. Setting a mine.
Can you open that any slower, Nightwing? The object was to slide into it and...
Everybody okay? Nothing
I
here.
hate you.
Keep calm, all of you. We'll be fine.
Well, we're past 2 minutes. Gotta start over again. Darn.
This is the worst part. The waiting.
Simulation activated.
You really thought Daniel Craig was 50? I don't think so. Hang on.
This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Daniel Craig in Casino Royale was 37 years old.
Anyone bored? I'm bored.
Oh my gosh. Henry Cavill's as old as me? I could have been Superman, you guys. No. Yeah, right. Yeah, Henry Cavill's already so many years older than most people when they first star as Bond.
This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Most people, when they do their first Bond movie, they are at least in their I don't have any ice to hold that guy. That's annoying.
This is the worst part. The waiting.
Do we have a way to take down that gunner quickly? Like... Wait, Nightwing should be able to use the one weapon. I can't even disarm their weapons? That sucks. Oh, why they give him so little gadgets?
Anyone bored? I'm
They
bored.
give him crap. What the heck, man?
This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know I'm Batman, but I don't have the build for Batman. I don't have the voice. Well, I might have the voice for Batman, but I don't have the build.
This is the worst
And I don't have the
part.
look. I don't have a
The
square
waiting.
jaw. I can't even pull off a crazy Batman like Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton has the everyman look. I have the... I don't know what type of look I have.
This sure beats waiting for food drops.
I
in
look like
Arkham
Chris
City.
Pratt. Chris Pratt can't be Batman. I could pull off Star-Lord, probably. That's about it. Not good enough. Not good looking enough to be Nightwing. Too old for Tim Drake. So, wouldn't want to play Tim Drake now. Oof.
Anyone bored?
What was that? I'm a good Mario. Well, that's that. There it is, people. I'm a good Mario. Ouch.
This is the worst part. The
That's
waiting.
the worst part. The waiting.
Simulation activated.
Nightwing gave Batman the Disruptor in the story? Well, he should have kept it! For the Predator maps. There's no excuse that Rocksteady... I knew there was a reason why I didn't like playing as Nightwing in Arkham Knight. He has such crappy gadgets compared to what he has in Arkham City. They give him garbage.
For food drops in Arkham City.
I'm supposed to do... I don't even... Wait. I don't even have smoke pellets? I feel like I've complained about this before. I don't even have any smoke pellets. How can I not have smoke pellets? That's crazy, you. Wow.
Anyone bored?
Don't even have any smoke pellets. That's insane. That is utterly insane. Oh, for the love of God. Stop that.
This is the worst part. The waiting.
I'm not fat. I'm 100 and... What am I? 168 pounds and I'm 6'4".
Simulation
I
activated.
need to put some meat on my bones. I'm not fat, though. I'm too skinny. At my height, I should be at least 210 pounds.
This sure beats waiting for food drops.
At
in
the
Arkham
very
City.
least. I am not at a healthy weight for my size. That's for sure. Yoink. Oh, now they decide I'm doing it right.
You ain't hiding. Watch my back. He went this way.
How did you see me? I was on the other side. Oh my gosh. So not only did Rocksteady give Nightwing's girlfriend to his brother, Tim, but they also gave him crappy gadgets. Did Dan Dido,
Simulation activated.
did he consult this game? Was Dan Dido a consultant? It feels like he was a consultant in this. Because he loves screwing over Nightwing.
Anyone bored?
Just for kicks.
Bored. You hear that? It came from over there. There he is! He ain't getting away again!
What?
Someone should have seen where he went.
Oh crap. Ah! Bullets hurt! Stop shooting me!
He's gonna get us. I know it.
Ray.
We're here. Don't get away.
Ah! Not only you make it timed, you jerk, you give me no gadgets. Clear. Mean.
Simulation complete.
Nightwing can finally talk now, not just in the challenge maps. He was supposed to have an actor. They recorded lines for Nightwing in Arkham City. They just didn't use it. I don't know why they didn't use it. They had an actor who played Nightwing. Yeah, it was funny that he was mute in the in Arkham City. You like my new playthrough of Arkham Knight where I'm doing it at like 4 in the morning? Nah. Yeah, you guys need to hustle on that though because that series is not doing well. Actually, I think we have to post a YouTube short now. How bad are we doing hourly? Oh, good. Yeah, we're doing bad. You think Nightwing would talk more in the challenge maps? You would think so. Sorry guys, picture shorts take a while to throw together than some of the other stuff. So, the short is up. Make sure you guys click that a lot. Sorry for losing my temper. Like I said, my haters are some of the weirdest freaks on the internet. Like, they're just bizarre trolls. Just weird. There's so much more they could be doing with their time and energy, and they're just obsessed with me. It's so weird. Yep, just click the short like crazy. Let's try to get as many views on that Superman thing as possible. It'd be fantastic. Thank you. Now, I would use trailer footage, but every time I post the trailer footage... and how are we doing on the Batman video now? Are we at least in the 800 range? Find out. No. 11 hours, 46 minutes, 750 views. Apparently you missed Hulk Smash. What about Hulk Smash? Perform 3 silent takedowns. Perform 3 bat claw slams. Electric blast an enemy, then take them out. Electric blast an enemy. Okay. One thing that you'll learn is that woke people are a crazy cult that are obsessed with people that do not like them. And they're correct. I do hate woke people, 100%. I think they're the scum of the earth. I think that they're petty. I think that they're cruel. I think that they're vindictive. I think that they're narcissists. I think that they're trolls. I think that they're weak human beings that basically are so soft, and that one little thing that you say to them causes them to obsess over you in an unhealthy manner for the rest of their lives. They can't get along with people that disagree with them in any capacity. As soon as you disagree with them on one thing, they go completely schizoid. They don't believe in civility. They only believe in what their demented sense of justice is.
When this is over,
like, I'll let you in on a fact. I get into fights with Republicans and Democrats all the time. But when it happens, and it's not like prolonged where we're yelling and screaming at each other for months and years later. Like, most of these woke people act like women. Like, when a woman gets mad at you, she's, like, mad at you forever until you apologize. Like, these are some of the biggest beta cucks I've ever seen in my life. Like, bar none. They're just so weird. You know? And it's just so unhealthy, like, mentally. It's not even just mentally deranged. It's, like, mentally unhealthy, because these people are most likely going to end up like shooting up a mall or a theater or something like that. They're crazy. you know? The most important thing about political differences is that you have difference in politics and you just learn to get along. And that's it. It's just called being civil. I don't like what you think about. You don't like what I think about. But at the end of the day, we can at least be, you know, somewhat, I wouldn't say nice, but just civil to one another. And that's a concept they cannot grasp. Because, I mean, these are people that have destroyed their families. These are people that have gotten fired from their jobs, and they think that it's a badge of honor when they get fired from their job because the person they worked for was an ist or a phobe. I mean, these people live in their own cultish reality where there's no helping them. They're just so far gone. You know what I mean? They're not sane or even rational people. Oh, snap. And I have no smoke bombs. I'm screwed. Yeah, what did you really thought that he was gonna... Okay. Woke is a term for a politically correct nut job. That's what woke means. That's how I interpret it. You know what political correctness is? Magnify that by 100. Like, these people live by their political creed and nothing else. They're obsessed.
Simulation activated.
They want to teach grade schoolers about sex. They want to do all kinds of bizarre things. Most of them are pedophiles. They're just completely insane. They're allowed to tell you how to live your life, and they can teach your children whatever you want, but whatever they want. But as soon as you say, hey, I don't want you messing with my kid, then they're like, oh, you're a terrible person. You know? It's why they're a cult. And these are the same people that tried to assassinate me twice by cop. Using what's known as a swatting. You use swattings on people that you don't like and you want them, you know, taken out. Because you hate them so much.
I'm gonna check on this guy. I'll keep watching.
Because you fear what they have to say, because what they have to say bothers you. So the only way to get rid of them is silence them permanently. You're not good at math? It has nothing to do with math.
He's picking us off. We knew he was here.
They don't believe in math anyway.
This guy got
If you show them
sloppy.
statistics
Don't
to
do the
prove
same.
that they're wrong, they don't believe your math. They only believe scientists that adhere with their philosophies and their beliefs. You can show them statistical proof and data and things like that, and they'll completely ignore it and be like, well, that's hateful data. It's like, it's just data. It's just numbers. What's the difference between your sheet and my sheet? The difference is you're using a source of a person that agrees with you 100%, and I'm using a source of a person who doesn't agree with you, but is also a scientist. So they're narcissists.
Don't fall asleep. He's here somewhere. Remember, you're not wearing a cloaking device. He can see you, just not through the walls.
Okay, so this isn't timed, is it? Perform 2 back claw slams. Perform 3 silent takedowns. This is going to be hard.
I wish I was wearing a cloaking device.
Oh, maybe it won't be. So they gave him a little bit better detective vision than Selena had. Selena... Wait, actually, did they give him regular detective vision?
The moment you do that, it's the moment he's won.
He can do fear takedowns.
You think he's gone? No.
Alright, I need to break these fools up.
Keep your eyes open. Take position over there. Yes, sir.
Are they going to use the buddy system? there a camo guy here?
Don't get complacent. The second you think he's
Stay
gone,
where you are.
that's when he'll strike.
Okay, so we have to do that 3 more times.
Give me a status report, guys. Clear over here. Take position over there. Roger that.
The heck is going? Don't like how they have this set up.
Looks clear.
Need to do one more.
You can't see us through the wall, so keep calm. We got the upper hand. You can still hear us, you freaking idiot.
Did the police ever tell us who called for the swatting? They're still investigating it. They've been investigating it for years because it was a bot network that did it.
The best. You aren't worthy of the training I passed on to you. If you were,
So they've been basically putting together a list of... There's about 150 suspects, I can tell you that much. With breadcrumbs on Reddit, on Twitter, on Blue Sky.
you got another. We're losing control of this.
But there is no smoking gun yet.
Stay sharp. We still have them outnumbered.
They think that the constant DDoS attacks are connected to it. They don't think they're isolated incidents, but it's very hard to catch people on the internet. But there is a police investigation. It's been ongoing for some time. I already told people as soon as they're caught, I'm posting their information online. I'm going to show their arrest pictures and things like that, and I'm going to make fun of them.
You guys okay? You see anything? Report. I don't see him. Is he freaking cloaked? Okay, just hold together. We can do this.
But nothing to report on that end. Every time we get DDoSed, we submit the data log to the police, and then they set it to
We
the,
had the advantage.
what is it?
I guess he didn't need his fancy
The
gear
internet
after all.
provider, and they go over stuff, and yeah. But I will give the hackers one thing: they're pretty smart,
He's just a
because we haven't
man.
caught them yet. But the longer you do a crime, the more likely you'll get caught doing it. So it's only a matter of time. If they keep doing idiotic stuff, eventually they will be caught. There's no such thing as the perfect crime. Eventually you get caught. And I'm not going anywhere, so I'm going to keep hounding and chasing these people for the rest of my life. So I'm not stopping. The one thing you have to know about me is I believe in revenge. So I'm not stopping. Doesn't work that way. Not until true justice is served. I have to do anything else? Now I have to do what? Perform 2 Batclaw slams? That's gonna be hard to do.
It's too quiet. Who's that? Get over here! I found someone! He's injured!
Where's the invisible man? I thought I saw one down there.
Nothing we can do here. Spread out and find him.
Oh, I'm on the dinosaur.
Yes, sir! Oh, what the hell was that?
Coming up. I have to do 2 of those? Are these 2 the only left? No, there's 3.
Where is he? Keep looking! You 3 can still take him. Be smart, be quick, be alert.
The DDoSing started in 2022. The swatting was in 2023. The first one. And then I believe there was one in 2024. There hasn't been one in 2025. But also I have precautions against it. So every precinct from here to Philadelphia knows about me. So the chances of that happening again are next to none. I don't know, Miles. That's up to the police. I have no update, so that's all I know. The police are civil servants, you know. We don't pay for their services. If we paid them, they probably would get their job done faster. But police work takes a long time. Sometimes there's cases that are open for a decade or more. It'll become a cold case after, I believe, 10 or 15 years is when they tend to close the case, or it's an unsolved case or whatever. Like. And also, you have to remember that local law enforcement is not really designed to deal with a lot of cyber crimes and stuff like that. That's a very hard thing to do. You would need a cyber task force, and nobody has really made one, as far as I know. And we're just waiting for these fools to take the bait. Come on. Really? Wow, you guys aren't going to buddy up?
He's gone.
I'm sure you were going to buddy up. We got him. Oh wow, that's a heck of a hit there. There's 150 suspects that are online. The list is quite large. Yep. Out of that list of people, no one has condemned the swatting, so that's why they're suspects. They're persons of interest because they either applauded the swatting or they said, well, you know, it's because he's a bigot, that kind of stuff. So those people are suspects. Yeah. Superman is rated fresh. Okay, so how's the short doing? Okay, not bad. Great job, guys. That's what I like to see. You have 300 views on the short so far. Nice job. I'd say the short did its job. It basically pushed us where we need to be. Anyway, let's continue. No, I just want them to sit in a cell for like 20, 30 years. I wish it was possible to send a drone to their house to like EMP all their equipment so like their equipment's ruined forever. That would be justice for me if there was a way to set off an EMP burst in their house, just ruin all their equipment, because in order to do the kind of stuff they do, they have to have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of equipment. I'd love to destroy their equipment. Then they would never be able to hurt anybody ever again. That would be fun for me. Because they invested all that money and stuff. Once you use an EMP device or a magnet or something on a computer, it's forever ruined. So. Electrical blast 3 enemies to save time? How do you electrical blast 3 enemies? Take out... Oh, I know what they're talking about now. Take out an enemy while he is following a voice synthesizer. Perform 3 great takedowns. I can try it. Be very Batman-like. Yeah. No, a cybercrime like that, it's a federal crime in the state of Pennsylvania. Like, for the swatting, it's 15 years, and for, like, hacking a business in the state of Pennsylvania, it's 15. So it comes out to, like, 30 years. That's the maximum that I can, you know, prison sentence that I can hope for them. But also, there is a slight possibility that the people who are responsible for the DDoSing are not connected to the person that tried to swat us. So they could be 2 separate incidents. The police believe that they're connected, which is why we only have 1 case right now. We don't have 2 cases open, it's all under 1 case.
Sure beats waiting for food drops.
Which they dubbed cyber terrorism. Because it is cyber terrorism. But I mean, 30-year life sentences, if they're like, you know, 15, or not 15, if they're like 20 or 30 years older in their 40s or something like that, you know, they could still technically rot in prison for quite a while. Also, you have to remember something else. These people that say they're holier than thou, a lot of these woke people have bad stuff on their computers. They got CP stuff. So if you arrest them for one crime, you can convict them for another. Especially if the police are going over their computers and stuff and they happen to find folders for inappropriate things, then they're going away for life. It'd just be a bonus. Because most of these people, like, they're evil to the core. They act like they're, you know, some type of holier-than-thou crusader, but they're very perverted. They're very insane, you know? Take out the guy near the weak wall? Which weak wall? I mean, they've already had cases about this. Like, there was some guy who was responsible for doing threats online. He didn't actually get arrested for the threats online that he committed. He got arrested because the police looked at his computer and he had very dubious things on there. So he went away for 20 to 30 years because of that stuff. You know? It's like electrical take down an enemy following a voice synthesizer.
Anyone bored?
Does that count? It counted! Okay. Da, 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 da.
Huh?
Where you at?
By the upper walkway!
Is there gonna be all 3 of you guys hanging out?
Wow, kid did a number on him. Come on,
I only see 2. I need 3. I need 3. Come on, medic. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh, that's way more than 3.
He's beat up bad. Ugh, I couldn't breathe.
You up? Jeez, come on. Come on. Whoa. Oh, I'm gonna die.
I'll get
Run! They have no medics, but I'm almost dead. Oh my gosh. Perform 3 great takedowns? How's that gonna work?
Yep, he's beat up all right. There, this new buddy.
There's no way.
He gets so many of us. He's tearing us a new one. We don't stand a chance. Keep your damn eyes open.
Wait, are these great or these... Does this count as a... This is a floor grate, right?
Get up. Come on. Attack here. Cover me while I patch our boys up.
All right, be quick. Not again.
That freak thinks he's got us scared.
Speak for yourself.
Get a grip, man.
Well, it's not... They're all part of a collective. They're all part of the woke, mindset. They don't believe that they're doing anything wrong. They believe that anyone who has a different opinion than them is Hitler. So, in their delusional mind, them offing me gives them some type of sexual satisfaction that they've done a good deed and gotten rid of another bigot and a hater and a whatever. I mean, they're crazy. What do you want from me? You can't reason with crazy people.
Where is he?
He's here somewhere. Watch your corner. Shoot anything that moves.
It's just not possible.
Each other.
Oh man, there was way more than them. Oh wow.
Check that weapons crate.
Uh-oh.
I hear you.
I'm gonna get shot.
I think something's moving.
No, there's not.
He's
Ah!
Simulation failed.
No, they just hate me because they deem me anti-woke and all that other stuff. Like anyone that disagrees with them or disagrees with their theology, their philosophy is evil. But I mean, I'm in the same boat as them. Like, I think they're evil too. So, but the only difference is I won't try to, off one of my enemies. Well, of course it is, Chad. I mean, I got into a thing online with somebody a little while ago. Like, I was like, what makes you think that your side is still winning? You've lost pretty much all public support over the last 2 years. Most people in the world think they're crazy. 2, they've lost all political support over the next 4 years. They have lost government support. Any type of bills or things that were created during the last 4 years that would help with that kind of stuff was all, deemed unconstitutional. Especially like hiring people based on their skin color or their sexual orientation. You can't do that kind of stuff. You can't be prejudiced based on how you hire people.
Simulation activated.
That stuff's been gone forever, and they brought that stuff back during Biden. That's totally illegal. So that stuff's all gone. There are no more protections for companies doing, we'll say, shady things like doxing and, pressuring companies to make sure that they hire more, like, I don't even like the word diverse because woke doesn't really have to do with that. It has to do with a large percentage of people pretending to be women. That's mostly what it is. They just like to throw everyone else into the same category to protect themselves because they don't want people to know what woke really is. But it's always been about that. Like, the people that tried to get rid of me most likely were she-males. So, that's why I don't really like the term woke, because, like, they make it like this huge umbrella, meaning every type of minority, so they can kind of shield and protect themselves from any type of criticism, scrutiny, things like that. So. No, of course they don't deserve mercy. That's why I'm going to press charges once they're arrested. So not only will they have problems with federal law in Pennsylvania, like for cyber terrorism, which is 15 years, attacking a business in Pennsylvania, and like trying to steal information or whatever is another 15 years. And then whatever I press charges against them, I'm going to try to seek the maximum penalty for that. So they'll probably get like 60 years in jail. I don't know. Who knows? Of course Static Shock deserves his own movie, but you're forgetting something about Virgil. Virgil's not owned by DC Comics. Virgil's part of the Milestone universe. DC doesn't own him. The only reason we got a Static Shock DC crossover stuff in the past anyway is because Dwayne McDuffie, one of the creators of Static Shock, he was
the worst part, the
like he was solely responsible for getting the Static Shock show made. And then when Static became like a, wouldn't say a licensed property of DC, but it appeared in DC Comics in the 2000s. When Milestone and DC kind of merged a little bit.
It sure beats waiting for food drops.
But unfortunately, which is, I mean, good for the creators because they receive a lot more royalties than most DC Comics people. When DC Comics people make a new character at DC or they do something, they don't own the rights to that character.
Anyone bored?
Like, they don't own it at all. They get like a small fee for, or whatever, like bonus for making the character, and DC's like, thank you. But Static Shock's creators, if they could find a way of making more stuff with Static, they would get more royalties because they're the creators. DC doesn't own the rights to Static, which is, you know, very good as a independent type character. That's excellent. And DC doesn't like that, so out of protest, it's one of the reasons why DC doesn't do anything with Static, because he's not like a Superman or a Nightwing character or a Batman character that basically they own the full rights to because the creators are dead. Like, the creators and co-creators, for the most part, are still alive for Static. Minus Dwayne. This is bad, this is bad.
Anyone bored? I'm bored.
Jeez, there's too many of these idiots, and I have no smoke bombs. Crap. Wait, did it not give me the... What? What did that say now? Electrical blast 3 enemies at the same time. Take out the enemy while it's following the voice synthesizer. Perform 3 great takedowns. Well, I did 1 great takedown. Yeah, of course they're having... Like, James is being completely honest. They are having problems, but you have to think about it this way. Do you really want Static Shock to be fully owned by DC Comics? You may get more movies and TV shows and merchandise and stuff like that, but the people who created Sonic, or not Sonic, jeez. The people who created Static, which are African-American creators, they're gonna get, like, you know, cut out of all that money and royalty and stuff like that. Just like every other person who's made a character for DC Comics, like Superman, Batman, all that stuff. So most of the people who are responsible for Virgil's creation are still alive. And they could profit off of stuff. So it's like, it comes down to, do you really want to remove their ability to profit off of their character and, you know, sell him off to DC so he can be in more movies and TV shows? Because I promise you, you'll definitely get more static that way, but also you're going to harm, like, the African creators who made it. Because DC is going to screw him over. I said Sonic, I know, because Sonic to me will always be a black man, because the first person to voice Sonic was Urkel, Jaleel White. So whenever I think of Sonic, I always think of him as an African teenager. It's just how it is. Also, Virgil and Jaleel White have a similar voice. It's funny how that works out, actually.
This is the worst part, the waiting. This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
I can't stream on Twitch again. My equipment that I have that helps with cybersecurity doesn't work on Twitch. I would get DDoS so badly that Twitch would shut my stream off.
This is the worst part, the waiting.
I know he's blue, I'm just saying Sonic has mostly been voiced by, at least on television, he's been voiced by African Americans. The very first voice of Sonic the Hedgehog was Urkel from Family Matters. It's true. Look it up.
Anyone bored?
Jaleel White voiced Sonic from 1993 until, I believe, 1999. I'm amazed that he didn't actually get to be the voice of Sonic on Sonic Adventure, but they got somebody else. Maybe he didn't want to do it anymore, I don't know. But I thought he did it up until... I thought Sonic Underground was in, like, the mid-2000s. I didn't watch Sonic Underground, though. It was weird because Jaleel played every single Sonic character. He played the Sonic sister, so he was doing girl voice. I think that's actually where I got the idea to do girl voices like that. Was watching Sonic Underground. Because he just, you know, he made his voice sound kind of high-pitched and he tried to talk feminine and stuff. But that was Jaleel White. They didn't actually have a female voice actor play Sonic's sister in that show. He played the brother. He played the purple hedgehog, or the purple and pink hedgehog who looks like Amy. He played Sonic, and he played the green hedgehog. Did I have a favorite villain in the Static Shock show? I thought all the villains were just run-of-the-mill bang babies.
This is the worst part, the waiting.
I don't really think that Static ever had an archenemy, did he? It was just a different bang baby every week or something like that.
Anyone bored?
I believe so.
I'm bored.
Six-arm guys. How in the world am I going to do this? I have no way to disarm them. That's the only grate in the entire level?
This sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Check that weapons crate. I'm on it.
Anyone bored?
Does that work? Does that count? Yeah, it does. Now we wait. Because sooner or later, those people are going to come, and then we do big blast takedown.
worst part, the waiting.
Bang, baby? I thought that's what they were called. I mean, I haven't seen Static in a long time, but I thought that's what the villains called themselves. There was a big explosion, there was a big bang, and they all got superpowers. I thought.
Sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
It was a real thing.
Anyone bored? I'm bored.
How was Static able to be in Justice League Unlimited? Pretty easy. Dwayne McDuffie was the writer. Dwayne got Static in.
This is the worst part, the waiting. Sure beats waiting for food drops.
Man,
in
are
Arkham
these
City.
guys ever gonna go check? Like, ever?
This is the worst part, the waiting.
Huh. I guess not. I can't even break windows. They got rid of his wingdings in this? They got rid of his wingdings completely.
Anyone bored?
Oh, that's messed up. That is so messed up. Wow.
Heard something!
Yeah, go investigate. I've been waiting for you guys to investigate for some time here. Call your friends, say you find a body.
What's going on? Anyone see him?
Nothing. Yeah, me neither. Nada.
Okay, keep looking. He's here somewhere.
And his wrist darts are gone too. Yep, no wrist darts, no wingdings. No smoke bombs. I believe he had smoke bombs in
Hey,
Arkham City.
what happened to you? There, good as new, buddy. I remember not breathing.
Oh, for crying out loud. Ah, I hate these guys! Get the medic, get the medic, get the medic! Good. Aw, snap. I miscounted. We screwed up.
Can't help him. He's out cold. Keep a lookout.
I hate this map.
Check on this guy.
I'll keep watch.
I lost count. I was supposed to... You think Catwoman is the only character that kept her gadgets?
Sure beats waiting for food drops.
Kept most of them.
Anyone bored? Oh,
Simulation activated.
sure beats waiting for food drops in Arkham City.
Uh-oh. Is that Mr... what's his face?
Check that weapons crate.
You got it.
He was still walking, right?
Hard. Waiting.
Where's the other medic?
I heard something. Me too.
No way he saw me. Aren't you gonna go investigate?
Everybody okay?
Lower walkway's clear. Nothing on the north balcony.
Keep calm, all of you. We'll be fine.
The fact they only have one grate on the floor like that is super annoying.
Got your number, Nightwing. Come face us, pretty boy. Is that?
Where are you?
In the office. I can fix him. I think. All better.
Come on, gang.
Another man down. This really isn't good.
No medic for you. Bye.
Show yourself!
Now we wait. Because somehow we have to take them all out
This guy's still
with a
breathing?
floor grate.
I'll keep watching. He's kicking our asses.
He ain't got us yet.
I get the feeling that's just luck.
We can take him, okay?
I'm pretty far.
Yeah, I did like Kite Man with Ivy. I thought that was great. I liked Kite Man show more than Ivy. I mean, I had a feeling that they were going to put Harley and Ivy together, but I'm just going to be straight with you guys. I don't like shows about same-sex couples. It doesn't... I don't watch them. It's great that they have those shows for people that like that stuff, but I don't like that stuff. I don't like that media. I don't want to watch it. Doesn't appeal to me. Doesn't relate to me. I don't watch Yaoi. I don't watch Boys Love. I don't care for it. If people want to have that type of stuff, cool, great, but I don't want to watch it. I don't like it. You know? And I know a lot of gay couples that told me they don't like watching, you know, rom-coms about straight people, and they don't watch it. So there's no problem in what I say. It's exactly the same. If you have a problem with what I say, then you have a double standard. Because, you know, as the old saying goes, different strokes for different folks. But I didn't judge the show based on that. I just didn't really like watching it. It was kind of like, oh, I see. I know where they're going. I knew they were going to go that route all the way, like, since the very beginning. I was like, that makes sense that they're going to do that. But can they see me?
I told we should have brought more guys.
Oh, crap. Yeah, of course he's going to see me there.
He went this way.
Whoop. Da, 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 da.
Where'd he go? Find him.
What is yaoi? It's a anime that depicts two women in a relationship. That's what it is. So, unlike in America, Japan breaks up its media for specialty stuff. They have categories. So if you're looking for a particular type of show that you want to watch, what they call special interests, then you are looking for what I said, and you're looking for something called BL, which stands for Boys Love. Most anime that I watch has labels, so I know to avoid things. Like if it, which is, I think that if America did this, there would never have been a whole debate between woke and anti-woke if we just had labels and we knew what the content of stuff was. Because in Japan, they tell you the content right out. They're like, hey, this show has this show doesn't have this. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's important that the consumer knows what's going on. Because, you know, you might not like that stuff, so it's good to have heads up. In America, they act like, oh no, it's terrible that you would warn people that this content is in the movie. It's like, why? Why is there a problem that people know what's in it? I don't think there's a problem with it. You know? So, Japan is leaps and bounds ahead of us in terms of morality and ethics and in terms of programming. So the reason why I watch so much anime is because with anime, I know what I'm getting. If I see an anime cover that has two girls holding each other, I know that it's gay stuff. You know, you can also read the description of a show. It tells you. If they don't say a male character is interested in romance, you know what the show is about. If you see two boys like that look really nice looking and they're holding hands, I mean, chances are that it's a show for, you know, men in love. So you take that, you're like, okay, I'm not going to watch that show. But you get heads up. It's not like you're going into a show blind. American shows, they have like all kinds of stuff. Because they're trying to inundate you. Japan gives you the option. They're like, hey, if you want to check this out, go for it. If it bothers you, you don't need to watch it. That's simple.
Check the open plan office.
Just like, you know how Gen Z labels all our old movies now when they're on TV? They, like, label them like, hey, this stuff has inappropriate content because it's from the 90s, or, you know, we acted a certain way back then, and things like that. We should be able to have warnings for gay stuff. Like, I don't see why there should be any problem. If Gen Z can go and label all our stuff and call it problematic and stuff, we should be able to give the consumer heads up for certain content. I think that's fair. And then there won't be any problems. Nobody will be arguing anymore. It'll be all taken care of. If parents don't want to go see Snow White because it has depictions of something that they're not cool with, you know, then they're not going to go to Snow White.
There's something down there.
Uh-oh.
Whatever it was, it's gone now.
He's too far away. Darn. The problem is these guys are too alert now, so they're not going to step on the stupid floor grate.
What else did I know?
Newton was a bad idea.
One more guy to go. And I guarantee you, like, that would solve all our problems in society. Because the reason why people get annoyed is they go to the movies and they're not expecting to see something and it's in the movies and they get mad. Imagine if parents actually had these tools to know what was the content they were taking their kids to see. There'd be no problems. But the problem is that these people don't want you to know what's in the movie. They, you know, spring things on you suddenly because they're trying to put it in front of you. Well, the reason why most people are ugly in American shows, like cartoons and stuff like that, is because the people who draw the shows are ugly. And same thing with comic books. The reason why a lot of comic book characters over the past, I think it was like 10 years, they started to have like more grotesque looking characters that weren't attractive anymore is because the people who made the books weren't attractive. It's that simple. Unattractive people like to make characters look unattractive because it makes them feel better. They had a problem growing up with superheroes that looked, you know, muscular and handsome, and women that had big boobs and, you know, shapely waists and skin-tight outfits. That offended them. So when they became, you know, the writers and the artists, they took that away because they were mad at it. And they're actually wilding out because they're not happy with the swimsuit stuff that Marvel's pushing this month. So the Marvel swimsuit issue comes out this week or next week, something like that. And there's people on Twitter and other places complaining about it because they're like, this is horrible. We're going back in time 25, 30 years ago, objectifying women, all this other stuff. And here's the thing, when they say that, there's tons of men in the magazine without their shirts on. So men aren't being objectified? Like, double standard. But you can't call them out on that. They're like, well, you know, it's like, well, what's the problem with a girl wearing a bikini or even a one piece? Like, you want her to run around in the hot sun with a jacket over her bathing suit? It's like, isn't that cruel to the woman? She wants to, you know, cool off in her bathing suit, and you're forcing her to wear a jacket like she's some type of nun or something. Wasn't Harley and Ivy almost a thing in Injustice 2? I don't think so. I don't believe so. But I mean, the art in comic books is getting better now. Like, things are improving. I don't watch that show because it's not for me. I don't watch gay shows. Why would I? I'm straight. If you like watching that stuff, Kaya, more power to you, but I don't have to watch it. I don't go out of my way to find that stuff. I'm not gay. I like to watch straight couples because I'm straight. It's that simple. You're allowed your preferences. I'm allowed mine. I have a certain type of media I like to watch. You have a certain type of media you like to watch. That's fine. No, I've never seen the show, but I'm not going to watch it because I know what it is. Like, I'm not stupid. I've seen people draw fan art. I've seen clips of the show. I know what it's about. I don't watch shows that aren't about straight couples. Why would I? I didn't watch Will and Grace growing up. I watched Friends. I don't see a problem with that. That stuff isn't made for me. People forget that majority of the world's population is straight. They don't want you to know this, but it's true. Majority of the world, I think they did a consensus before the pandemic. It was at 89% of the world is straight. It's true. It's actual factual data. And I don't think the world's changed that much since the pandemic, aside from lots of people dying. You know, it's just so much of the world is heterosexual. So I like to watch entertainment that, you know, fits my criteria. Gay people like to watch the stuff they want. I'm not saying to take away that stuff, but I'm not saying I should be forced to watch it, or I'm just going to casually watch something I don't want to, you know, watch. I don't do that. I only watch things that I'm interested in. Same thing with anime. I'm watching a lot of different animes, but like the BL stuff and the yaoi stuff that just came out, I'm not watching that. I never do. It's great that there's an option for it. More power to them, but I'm not watching it. I'm watching so many great rom-coms right now. Actually, there's too many rom-coms that just came out. I was surprised. Like, this summer, people, like... You have so many shows that came back that I didn't even know they were going to do in the summer. Let's see, this summer's rom-coms right now. I wouldn't say Dan to Dan is a rom-com. Summer Pockets is technically a rom-com. Rent a Girlfriend Season 4. My Dress Up Darling came back with a second season. I don't think Grand Blue was ever a rom-com. What else? There's a show called Betrothed to My Sister's Ex is a rom-com. Wataru Kun's About to Eclipse or something like that is a rom-com. What is that? Cultural Exchange with a Game Center Girl is a rom-com about two gamers. A girl from England and a guy who only speaks Japanese. He works at a game store or a game arcade. I don't think With You in the Rain is a rom-com. The Cuckoo's Nest people are back. I don't know if you guys ever saw that crazy rom-com a couple years ago, but they brought that back for some random reason. I thought only Girlfriend was coming back, but a Couple of Cuckoos second season started. Couple of Cuckoos was a weird rom-com. That's back. So, I mean, there's lots of stuff for me to be watching, like, right now. Plus, there's all kinds of new shows, like New Saga, whatever. But I'm sure there's a couple, like, specialty shows that came out, but I'm not going to watch them. It doesn't interest me. I was told that comics have gotten better, but I haven't read a comic in quite a while. I have not actually paid for a comic. I have... You know how people pirate video games and movies? I pirate comics. I haven't paid for comics in years. So I've been reading Nightwing books from a friend of mine that gives me scans. So I've stayed up to date with the Nightwing books without, you know, paying for them. And from what I've seen of the Nightwing books, they're still okay. Oracle and Nightwing are a couple, but no, I haven't given DC any money for their comics in probably, it's been close to 6 years now, something like that. The only books that I buy is old issues. I get graphic novels or completions of comics, and I do that a couple times a year. So last year I picked up 15 Batman graphic or completion books from like the 70s and 80s, and I have a couple Teen Titans, like, or new Teen Titans, like, I guess you could say collections or groups, like comics thrown together for like a it's basically it's essentially a graphic novel, but they call it completions. But it's in the same vein as a graphic novel. You have this big, really nice book, and it has like tons of stuff inside of it. So I mostly buy those, and they're on my bookshelf behind me. I have like tons of those.
Wonder where I'd be now if the Arkham Knight hadn't found me.
What are my thoughts on the... Oh, no, I don't want to do this one. I don't like this one. This one is you have to beat a bunch of guys in a certain time frame. Yeah, no, I don't like that one. Also, they nerfed Nightwing so bad that, no. What is this? Save the optically camouflaged enemy until last. Do not use the grapple gun. Destroy the sentry guns without being seen. Oh, I hate you. There's no freaking way. Do I like the last Ronin story? You mean Ninja Turtles? Or are you talking about like some anime called The Last Ronin? There is no way I can do this!
I've been to war zones.
Without using the grapple? There's no way!
Simulation activated.
There's no way! It's gonna see me!
This is better than my last posting.
Yeah, there's no way you can do this! What are they talking about? Screw it! No, 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 no. Quit. I'm not doing this one. Rage quit. Heck no. Heck no, I ain't doing that. Look up how AV does it. I don't like pausing my stream to do that. The only reason I paused the stream to make that YouTube short was it had to do with I needed to get views on the channel. So the YouTube short that we uploaded got like, what, 600 views? Something like that? So that 600 views went into the channel. Whereas before, if I hadn't made that YouTube short, the channel would have dropped down to 900 views and we wouldn't have been paid. Mm-hmm. 10 years later, Arkham... Wait, this stream got 1,000 views? Oh, I could have ended a while ago. I'm going to keep playing for a little while longer. I could have ended a while ago, though. That's good to know. Darn. Well, this is going to be tough. So after 12 hours and 50 minutes, 770 views is all episode 3 got, guys and gals. It needs 1,000 to get another episode. I mean, everybody wants them to integrate, you know, Matt Reeves the Batman, but both Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson don't want to do it. But, I mean, if the Superman movie does as well as they're projecting, let's say theoretically the Superman movie makes more than the Batman did, which the Batman made under 700 million, didn't it? Something like that. Let's say that Superman is the first movie of DC to do really well in a while. Then James Gunn has more pull than he ever did. He has more pull with the board of directors. He has more pull with, like, actors and, like, storylines and things like that. It could be a huge win for him. Just because the movie right now is rated really well, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a box office hit. But, I mean, it doesn't hurt its chances if, like, you know, word of mouth is spreading. Like, even offline, people are talking about how great the Superman movie is. That's really good. That's a very good thing and a good place to be in. But it still doesn't equate to numbers yet. But let's just say in theory that James Gunn's Superman movie does phenomenal, then yeah, I would say he has a lot of pull to make sure that they could probably get Matt Reeves the Batman if they wanted to. But I think they should, just like what they did with David Cornsweet, they should bring in a newcomer. I'm still a big supporter of the guy from Supernatural. I think he would make a great Batman with a son. I could see him. I could see Henry Cavill as Batman with a 10-year-old son. I think that'd be a great twist because we already have other characters from the previous DCEU that are coming back to play other characters in this new universe. So in the multiverse, you have to remember that not necessarily is Superman going to look like Henry Cavill. Like, Henry Cavill could, in that universe, he could be Mirror Master, or he could be the Joker. Be a very buff Joker, but I'm just saying. That's very common in multiverse stories, where people's, like, perception changes. Like, this character in one universe looks like this, but, you know, he happens to look like this in another universe. And they did that in the CW when the Atom, Ray Palmer, met Superman from Brennan Ralph's universe. It was the same actor playing both parts, but in the multiverse, they had different roles. They were different people. The same, you know, physical makeup, like physical identity, DNA, just in another universe, you're a completely different person. Like, in this universe, I'm a streamer. In another universe, I could be like a jewel thief, you know? I could be some guy named Jacques. Looks exactly like me, sounds like me, speaks French. But the multiverse is infinite, you know? So your doppelganger could be whoever. So it's not impossible that a person who looks like Superman in Zack Snyder's universe is actually Batman in James Gunn's universe. I would love that. You kidding me? Because I think that Henry would nail it as Batman because he said his second favorite superhero is Batman. He loves Superman, but he also really likes Batman too, and I think that he could pull it off. I think he could go down as one of the best Batman actors of all time. Personally. Complete the challenge in under 2 minutes. Well, I haven't done anything yet. Startle and silent takedown an enemy. How do you startle and silent takedown an enemy? Electric blast both medics simultaneously? I hate you, game. I have to go find the stupid medic now. Go hang out.
Take position over there. Got it.
I still can't believe Nightwing should have had at least a smoke pellet. They even gave Robin smoke pellets. There's no way that Nightwing shouldn't have smoke pellets. That's so anti-Nightwing. It's upsetting. Wow, nobody's paying attention to that? Okie doke. Complete the challenge in 2 minutes. Electric blast an enemy. Da 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 da.
Where? Over here. I'll cover you.
Okay, so how are we gonna do this? How many of these fools are left?
I've got a signal. Surveillance traces everywhere. Try to locate origin. No.
Bye-bye. My only weapon is that stupid,
Target locked. Spread out. I'm gonna check for casualties. Leave it. We need to look out for ourselves. Is he gonna be okay? Good idea.
Got a signal again. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Signal's gone. He could be anywhere.
Did you seriously just go right back to where you were again?
Afford to lose any more men. He's too fast. We don't stand
Oh,
a
these
chance.
guys are really
Nothing we
stupid.
can do for him.
I'm sorry, but they are.
Get revenge.
I literally just did the same thing that I've been doing to you guys this whole time.
Who's that?
I startled the enemy. Does that count?
Simulation complete.
Ah! Why? How do you startle the enemy? I mean, Kaya, you could mod the game and include weird characters and stuff. I mean, that's what PC modding is for. You can... I've seen Superman and Captain America in this game. And you could put, like, cartoon characters in it, probably, if you had, like, a really good mod for it. You have to remember, though, this game is from 2015, though, so adding new mods to it doesn't usually happen except for Batmobiles. I thought I saw a mod for Peter Griffin in this, but maybe I was mistaken. Who knows? Startle and then silent takedown an enemy. How is that possible? Yeah, if you know how to mod, you could do it. Alright, we gotta get Donkey Kong set up. Yeah. Could anybody send me a better picture of the Mad Hatter from Arkham Knight? I have this really goofy picture of him that makes my thumbnail look so stupid. Like, if anybody could give me a really good render of Arkham Knight, Mad Hatter, and send it to my Twitter, that would be great. Because the one that I have is just ghastly. It looks so bad. The quality, it doesn't even match, like, my Batman Beyond render that I have. It just looks so bad. When it comes to my Batman art, I'm a perfectionist. It has to look good. It has to work with the theme that I've created. If any part of the picture looks out of place, it just ruins the whole thing. For whatever reason, I am really good at Photoshop when it comes to Batman stuff. The other stuff, my, like, Let's Play channel's thumbnails suck. I can never get the tone right. I can never get the O1 channel and these Batman streams, they're me. They're my personality. They're my thoughts. They're my mannerisms, all that other stuff. It feels more comfortable to me, so I'm, you know, the Let's Play channel always feels like kind of like this is the money maker. This is the thing that I have to try to broaden my horizons and make, like, very extravagant looking things, and I really can't do that. Like, it never works out the way that I want it to. Because I'm just not that type of artist. I don't even see myself as an artist. I'm just really good at making Batman art because Batman art is dark and depressing. Which is right up my MO. Because I'm dark and depressing. So, ergo, it works. I think it works. I think that my Batman thumbnail that I made for that thing works really well. It looks great. But I don't think my Donkey Kong thing looks very good. But here's the thing. I made terrible... I was just throwing together something for the 10 years later live stream series. I'm probably going to find a way of improving those thumbnails when I have time. Because I have finally finished monetizing the entire channel, by the way. So Kwings Let's Plays, after 2 weeks, is finally fully monetized. All 17,000 videos are now fully monetized. That took 2 weeks. I said it would take a couple months, but I did it in 2 weeks. I did around 250 to 475 videos a night for 2 weeks straight. And I managed to get 17,000 somehow. Maybe I did more and I lost count, but all I need to know is when I checked on YouTube and it says, what videos are not monetized still, it only showed me like 400 to 500 videos that are copyright claimed that I can't obviously monetize, so that means all the other videos are Dunsky, which is yay. So that means I have some other pet projects I can do now. To some extent. Alright, setting up Donkey Kong now. And then, besides, on July 11th, guys, you also have a Superman live stream on this channel, on a Superman game that's never been covered on this channel, to the best of my ability. I don't recall ever doing this Superman game, so... showcase. Yoink. Da 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 da. Alrighty. Well, gang, you have a wonderful night. I'm spent. I have to go find a way of trying to get the views up for that Batman thing that didn't work. If John Doe and other people could send... There's 140 of you guys here. If you want to go show some love to that Batman video, because it's not getting another one tomorrow if it doesn't get 1,000 views. It's called Mad Clown Disease. It's an hour episode. You only have to watch back like 6 or 7 minutes of it. Leave a comment, and maybe it'll help with the algorithm. Give you guys the link to where it is. So if we could get some people over there, that'd be great. So there you go. Batman upload. If you want to click that, this stream's done. There's no other streams happening here tonight. I have to go edit episode 5 or 4. Episode 4, which is the Mad Hatter. And then I need to record episode... Or wait, no. Yeah, I have to record episodes 7 and 8 tonight while I'm still conscious. Because I have episodes 1 through 6 recorded. And I have episodes 1 through 4 edited. So while I'm still mostly conscious and I already have the Steam Deck set up, I'm going to record a couple episodes. May as well. No, I'm not playing Superman 64. That curse thing, get that out of here. The Ninja Turtles aren't DC. Yeah, I know that. Who said they were? But yeah, if you guys could do me a solid, go click that. There's 100 of you here. You could easily take the video up from 700 views to 800. It needs some love or it's not getting another episode tomorrow. I never said Ninja Turtles. I don't know what you're talking about, Kaya. I never said Ninja Turtles. We were talking about The Last Ronin as a video game that's coming out. Eventually. At least I thought the video game's coming out soon. I don't know. Alright, peeps. I'm spent. God bless. Happy gaming. Have a great night. I'm out. Bye-bye.